All right, this next one is how to do a customer return and refund, and it assumes that we've already made the adjusting journal entry. So what we would normally do is set up an adjusting journal entry for all of the estimated returns. All right, and when we do that, what we do is, see if I can find enough room on this page. That doesn't work out. So our adjusting journal entry would be done first, but it doesn't ask for that. But let me just show you what that adjusting journal entry would look like. We would estimate that some of our sales will be returned. GAAP requires all companies to do this. So we would actually reduce sales by debiting it, because debit reduces it. And we would set up a liability for customer refunds payable. And we would credit that. Oops, that wasn't good. I must have gone out my side of my box. Customer refunds payable. All right, that's the first part of it. The second part of it would be if they're going to return some of their inventory to us, they're going to return some of what we sold to them, then that means that I'm going to get some of my inventory back. So we're going to set up an account called Estimated Returns Inventory. And I need to reduce the associated expense with that. The associated expense related to inventory is cost of goods sold. So I'm going to reduce that expense. Credit makes expense go down. So this is the journal entry for estimating returns. In this problem, that's already been done. Now, all they're asking us to do is actually process a return from a particular customer. Okay, first things first, they ask us to record the sale. So let's just record the sale. On December 28, Silverman Enterprise sold $18,500 of merchandise to Beasley. All right, with terms net 30, so it was on account. So that's accounts receivable and sales. That's step one of recording a sale. And they told it was for $18,500. Step two is to show that we sold inventory and moved it into the expense because it's been sold. So that's cost of goods sold and inventory. So this is just a regular sale, and they tell us that that amount was $11,200. Okay, let's keep going. Now, part of that sale was returned to us. Knowing that we've already journalized an adjusting entry, we just use up some of that adjustment when they return it to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to do customer refunds payable. We're going to take it out of that. We set it up just for this situation, so we're going to use up some of that. All right, let me go up there and read how much that was. The invoice was $4,000. All right, did we give them cash or did we give them credit? Let's go find out. Did we give them cash or did we give them credit? A credit memo. So we gave them credit to their account. So we're going to credit accounts receivable. And that accounts receivable belonged to Beasley. So we're crediting their account for $4,000. Now we need to take care of the fact that they gave us back our inventory. So inventory goes up because they handed us some of our inventory back, and we're going to take that out of what we set up for this purpose, which was our estimated returns inventory. Some of that estimated became reality. And they told us how much to do. They told us to do $23.50. Okay, now journalize the receipt of the amount due from Beasley. All right, on the very first entry, what did we put into their accounts receivable? $18,500. This was the first thing we did. We debited accounts receivable for $18,500. And then on the second entry, we credited their accounts receivable, we credited it right here for $4,000. So we need to credit it for $4,000. So now the question is, how much do they need to pay us? Well, they did owe us $18,500. Now they only, and then we subtracted out $4,000. So $14,500 is how much they need to pay us. If they pay us, we got cash. Get rid of their accounts receivable. That's accounts receivable dash Beasley. And that's $14,500 and $14,500. And that will zero out their account. Actually, I should put it on the left side because it's accounts receivable. Normal debit balance. It means that they don't owe us anymore. All right, let's do one more on this video, and that's going to be to actually set up this adjusting journal entry that we need to make at the beginning of each year for our estimated sales returns. Scott Company had sales of $12,350,000 and related cost of goods sold of $7,500,000 for the year ending December 31st, 2028. Scott provides customers a refund for any returned or damaged merchandise. Scott Company estimates that customers will request refunds for 0.8% of sales. So the word of means times. So 0.8% times sales. So this was sales. So then we multiplied by 0.8%, which is really, we moved the decimal place over 2 times, 0.008. All right, so let's put that into our calculator. You can do it with me. 12,350,000 times 0.008. I got 98,800. That is my estimated amount that will get returned. So right off the bat, I've got to reduce sales by the amount that I think will get returned to me. So to reduce sales, sales is a revenue. Revenues go up with a credit, so to reduce it, I'm going to debit it. 98,800. And then I'm going to set up an account called Customer Refunds Payable, a liability account that I'll be using when somebody actually does come in with a real one. And I will kind of in the way, isn't it? There. And I will credit that one for 98,800. So that's half my entry. I need to make the other two, and that's going to be to record what's happening in inventory. So I'm going to have an estimated returns inventory, and they told me the amount is 48,000. So I'll debit 48,000. And then I need to also reduce the associated cost of goods sold. So to reduce an expense is a credit. So I'll credit it for 48,000. So that's an adjusting journal entry that will estimate our sales returns. That'll be done just once a year. And I recommend just memorizing it for now, the accounts. And then as we go through this over and over, it's going to start to make more sense. But this is an adjusting journal entry for estimating sales returns. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.